I didn't believe small moments could save anyone.
Then a child sat beside me and proved me wrong. I woke up that morning with a single purpose, a final task to complete. The notes were already written, 3 of them, sealed in plain white envelopes on the kitchen table. One for my sister, one for my best friend since college, and one for my landlord explaining where he could find the key. The world outside my window was the color of wet concrete. Appropriate, I thought. I remember putting on my coat, the gray one, and thinking how fitting it was that I would leave the world in the same color I had lived in it. A shade of nothing. I had chosen the park bench near the old oak tree. It was where Sarah and I used to have lunch on Sundays back before the silence grew between us, like a thicket of thorns. Back before the job loss and the bills piling up, and the slow, suffocating realization that I was a burden to everyone who had to pretend to still care. The walk there was a blur of faces that didn't see me. I was already a ghost. A man walking his dog glanced at me and looked away. A mother pulled her child closer. I wondered if they could smell the death on me like a coming rain. I reached the bench. The wood was cold and damp. I sat down, placed my small backpack beside me, and took a deep breath. This was it. The last feeling I would allow myself. The chill of autumn air in my lungs. The last sight. The bare branches of the oak clawing at the gray sky. The last sound. The distant, indifferent hum of the city. I reached into my bag and pulled out my small, leather-bound notebook. A final habit. For years, I'd written my thoughts in it. My dreams, my worries, my grocery lists. The last 20 pages were just blank. I couldn't find the words anymore, but I brought it anyway. A familiar weight. I opened it to a fresh page. My pen hovered. I wasn't going to write anything new. I just wanted to hold something familiar in my hand as the light faded. That's when I felt a tug on my sleeve. I flinched. I looked down. There was a child, a little girl, no more than 4 or 5, bundled in a puffy red coat that made her look like a cheerful berry. She had one mitten on, and the other hand was bare, clutching a fat, well-loved purple crayon. She stared up at me with the kind of profound, unblinking curiosity only children possess. Draw, she said. Not a question, a command. I just stared. My mind, which had been so meticulously focused on its final task, went completely blank. Draw, son, she insisted. She pointed her purple crayon at my blank page. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because it was easier than speaking. Maybe because her expectation was so pure, so absolute, that my planned oblivion seemed rude in the face of it. I took the crayon from her. Its wax was soft from being held in a small, warm fist. I drew the simplest sun I could, a circle, with lines for rays. She watched, her head tilted. Then she snatched the crayon back from me. No, she declared, as if I'd deeply misunderstood the assignment. She climbed onto the bench beside me, a feat of puffy coat determination. Her little legs dangled, not touching the ground. She leaned over the notebook, her tongue poking out in concentration. With a shaky, deliberate hand, she drew her own sun next to mine. It was lopsided. The rays were uneven. Then, underneath it, she drew a stick figure, a tall one with a sad slump, which I realized with a jolt was me. And then, with a careful scribbling motion, she drew a heart. A huge, lopsided purple heart that engulfed the stick figure man. She looked from her drawing to my face, studying me. Then she nodded, satisfied.